My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my review for The Last Exorcism, and this review will have spoilers, so there's your warning. But I went into this movie with high expectations because I've heard amazing things about it. There are people who call this one of the best found footage movies ever made. There are people who call this one of the best demon possessed movies of all time. And it sounded right up my alley, and I knew nothing about this movie besides the fact there was a Last Exorcism in it, but that's it. And I definitely did not get the movie I was expecting, but I didn't get the quality of movie I was expecting either. I didn't like this, unfortunately. But let's begin talking about my favorite aspect, and it's the character of Cotton. I thought he was such a well written character. The fact that he was religious, but he no longer is, and he still wants to help people. So he's kinda of a con man, but he's still helping people. So, like, is he good? Is he bad? Is he taking advantage? It's kind of all up for debate, and I just like the complexities of this character. There are nuances there, and I do like the note his arc ends on, with him regaining his faith when he should have. So, really well written main character. The issue is the story surrounding him, because I do appreciate what this movie is trying to do. It's definitely something original, something fresh, something new, but it's also something kind of bad, and like it's trying to subvert your expectations, and I was left unsatisfied with so much of this movie. Like, you're meant to question, is she mentally ill or is she possessed? And because it's a horror movie, you assume that if she's not possessed, she will be. But that's not really the case. In fact, I would say there's definite answers to be had. Well, the first 90% of the movie, she's not meant to be seen as possessed. But by the end, well, even then, what happens at the end of this movie is that even though I didn't really care for the first 90%, the movie then backtracks on all of that. So if you did like the first 90%, you're going to feel betrayed by the ending. And if you were hoping for some nice demon, spooky stuff to happen, you get like 5 minutes of it. And it's just not satisfying no matter what you wanted from this movie. It's just very messy. It's like you get not the best of both worlds, but the worst of both worlds. And like, because so much of the movie is a constant back and forth, like I said, is she possessed? Is she mentally ill? After the halfway mark, I was just thinking to myself, is this all the movie's going to be? And pretty much, yeah, like it's a very stagnant, repetitive movie, and I got out of it pretty quickly. And also the movie Frailty, I think, does this premise much better. So, yeah, like I appreciate what it's trying to do. I really do. It's just unsatisfying for me in every way. The direction by Daniel Stam, I think, is pretty decent. The location is nice. Um, the fake exorcist scene with all the different props is really well done. The found footage isn't annoying. The movie's never remotely scary. There was never a moment where I got goosebumps, where I was on the edge of my seat, where I was truly affected, or where it was tense or anything. It's a rather empty experience. But the cast is really good. Patrick Fabian, I think, is great here. The entire time I was watching this movie, I'm like, who is this guy? Like, he is familiar to me, but I couldn't put my finger on it, and it turns out it's Howard from Better Call Saul. He just oozes charisma, and you buy his character. He's very convincing. Ashley Bell, I also thought did a great job here. Iris Ball, I thought was bland and added nothing to the movie. Lewis Hotham, I think, does a good job, especially since you don't quite know what to think of him. He walks that fine line really well. And Caleb Landry Jones, I think, does a fine job as well. It's just obviously a, like, his character just reminded me of a younger version of his character from Get Out to a degree. But yeah, the performances are good, especially Patrick Fabian. I think the main character is really well written, and I do appreciate so much of what this movie is trying to do. I just think it's very unsatisfying. And the direction it does end up going in by the end is just severely underdeveloped with not enough answers, and it's just kind of ends up feeling like you wasted your time. It's a very empty experience, so I'll give The Last Exorcism a 4 out of 10. Okay, have you seen The Last Exorcism? What did you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos soon, and Gavin out.